All right, welcome to the Blackout podcast.
You already know?
Yeah.
Aye.
Another video, another day. About to react on this one.
You know the vibe. You know the vibe. Another day.
Question is, what is freedom?
Man.
You owe me money.
Promise you. Listen. What freedom? Freedom is something that a lot of people have many ways of expressing their freedom. But you know what? We're just gonna dive in the video and then see how we can
See
this one.
Yeah, see the section of the freedom they're talking about. Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Why should your right to freedom of speech trump a trans person's right not to be offended?
Because in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive. I mean, look at the conversation we're having right now. You know, like you're certainly willing to risk offending me in the pursuit of truth. Why should you have the right to do that? It's been rather uncomfortable.
So you haven't sat there and... I'm just trying to work that out. I mean...
Ha, gotcha.
You have got me. I'm trying to work that through in my head. Yeah, it took a while.
It did.
She need help.
Wow.
Straightforward.
She was using her freedom of speech.
She was using her freedom of speech.
Yeah, she offended him. No, but I think there's a difference between if you're using insult and offensive language.
Yeah.
That's not a way to exercise your freedom of speech.
True. Because then you actually you hurting somebody emotionally.
Yeah, you're just being abusive, like with words.
With words, yeah.
Yeah. But if you're expressing your
But nowadays, what is worse? Is it physical or verbal?
both. No, nowadays both are worse.
Both are worse, but if we're talking about like in the system itself, being violence physically, you end up in jail. But being verbal physically,
you get cancelled. Which is the same. Like
it's not as worse as being in jail. You understand?
Yeah, but physical is worse. But the point of the matter is, she was saying that he was offending people who changed their sex, people with gender dysphoria.
People who have different or the transgender in that sense.
Like but she didn't mention why he was offensive, and I think the reason why she said he was offensive because he said, because I think they were discussing something in the law in Canada where you have compelled speech, whereby you are required to say whatever that person thinks he or she is, you know. So, and he was against that. He was saying, you can tell me what to say. I can say whatever I want, and as long as it's not offensive, as long as it's factual right, then we can say it.
As long as it's truth in that sense. So basically, he was as well saying like you are pursuing me as well for me telling you the truth.
Yeah, it's like sometimes you don't want to say facts. People want to say like some people believe like if you transition, you become fully the other text you transition to. Some people say that's factually incorrect.
Exactly, it's
straightforward. And when you say that, they say, "Oh, you are offensive."
Yeah, now you are what is it called, transphobic or something?
Yeah,
it's like
there's a lot of phobic.
I mean, that has nothing to do with anything.
No,
you know, in the medical kind of perspective, they will even the doctor himself will tell you by doing this there is a certain risk. But you rather want to listen to a doctor than listen to somebody who has knowledge.
But even doctors nowadays are being cancelled. You basically, when you come to do whatever assessment that you have, it's because it's like already saved on the platter. So the doctor can tell you, oh no, you need this to, because then you can accuse the doctor for and then they can take your license. He experienced that. They won't even take his license.
Wow.
Yeah, because
that's extreme.
Because it's against this mainstream media like of compelled speech and.
Let me ask you this question: is this kind of thinking come from the Western world?
Yeah, mostly.
It's really sad, but yeah.
Especially when we're talking about this kind of like ideology, like the transism. I mean, that's more in the West. But the rest of the world has their own issues in sense. So they struggle with that one, even though that makes sense. But if we just like maintain ourselves in this Western world, it has to do with this ideology. I mean, if you remove certain things that people adhere to, you have a religion, you remove factual thing in school, so people trying to find meaning in life. So you have this like ideology where people are like very.
But why pushing meaning in life? Why pushing things toward people when because there is some people who already found kind of meaning in life, but you're still trying to manipulate those who already have found something, so that they can accept your own. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is like. How do you gonna? So, what's the purpose of young people existing now? So it's like you need to have something you are fighting for, right? To give you some form of you changing or you're doing good for the world.
Yeah,
something.
I see they basically need to get the newcomers in the form like new generation to an apple in the form like. Somebody, you get a kind of a food on the plate.
They need to have a cause to fight for.
Yeah.
And
putting
so that's why they're introducing this kind of ideology, which I think is just insane. I mean you take the fact and you just twist it. Like before, people were treated for what they.
What you are,
yeah,
what
and
you do actually.
There's a norm of things. There's a norm of things, and there's a outliers, right? Not everybody gonna fit in the same category, but we have a generality for a reason because 80% of people fit in, and then you have the outliers, and then we try to kind of bring them into the fold.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
And that's how it is.
But now. They want to take the 80 into the outliers.
Oh man!
Now that's mad.
Actually, that one was like mic down on that one. That was literally. We're going to the next video though.
Yeah.
Anyway, comment down below. Let us see what you think about that. Like, yeah, comment down below. We just go to the next video.
No. You didn't say body language. You said communication. Communication is verbal.
Is body language not part of communication?
Yeah, but nobody is talking to you. Nobody is talking to you. Communication is verbal.
Okay.
You want to have good communication? We can sit and have a conversation.
So
if I say no and then I say, you know what? Yeah, I'm down for yes. Then that's a yes.
Okay.
But yes always means yes, and no always means no.
Okay. But then what happens if a woman says yes, but she's drunk?
Listen.
Oh my god. Literally that one is like
First of all, she needs to be taught that communication is not just verbal.
It's not. Straightforward communication. Actually, the body language, you communicate much more with your body language than verbal communication.
It's a form of a communication, I agree.
Yeah, but it's because if you see somebody is sad, you already see it in the body language. If you see somebody who doesn't have pain, you see in the body. Like the body language is actually even people who doesn't talk.
I agree. You can get a lot of communication. You can get a lot of information. I mean, by looking at somebody.
Not only looking.
Yeah, but
you can even touch them.
Or touching, or their body language, whatever. You can actually get a lot of information. But if you want to know the specific of whatever they're trying to communicate, then you can use verbal. But even verbal is not the only form of communication.
No, it's not.
So you can write something. That's a form for communication.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So it's like there's a lot of form of communications, and verbal is just one of many.
Definitely. But the way she was saying, like, oh, the only communication is the verbal communication. Listen, get out of here. Get out of here now.
That's primary school education right there.
That's like, some people just need a little bit education in the form of like, you need to understand that communication is much wider than just verbal. Actually,
it's a whole spectrum of human interaction. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Yeah. So it's a complex thing. It's just because sometimes you can get information not only through the person you are communicating with, in whichever form you're communicating with, but you can get it also from other people. So it's like, I don't need to be directly looking at you to understand, like, okay.
To understand you.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it's not just like you telling me something.
Yeah. I see where you're going with it.
So when you're in the club, like you're dancing, and then she look at you, and then she doesn't say anything, she keep dancing. That's a form of communication. Say, I see you. Okay, I liked what you say. Okay, we're going.
Yeah, and that's a form of body language communication.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then not only exactly, and then there's a touch, right? Right?
Yeah.
Sensations different.
Too much touch this day. Yeah, you know what I mean, like. But yeah, definitely.
She was confused. You know, the thing is that girl, she was
she was confused.
She was confused because she was so like adamant about like verbal being the only communication, and then when he said, "Oh, what about when she's drunk?" Then
exactly. Then she kind of shows, what's it called? You know, when you can't even talk when you.
Wow, she was starstruck. I don't know. She was gotcha something.
Yeah. She
was gotten.
She got just stuck in her own mind.
Brain freeze.
Yeah. Crazy. You know, there is people who just need like lecture. That's it. In this case, there is much more than just verbal communication. Let us know what you think about this, and you know, if you have like any other thought around it, just comment down below and let us know. Subscribe, like, share.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll come with much more.
Exactly.
Video that's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
There you go.